Let's first start talking about area. Area is measured in square feet. The formula for area is simply length times width. Length times width. So if we have a 50-foot by 30-foot building, 50 times 30 is 1,500 square feet. Perimeter. Perimeter is what happens if you start at one corner of a building and you start walking around the outside of the building. The distance that you would walk is the perimeter. And we get the perimeter by simply adding the lengths of each side of each of the building together. For example, we have our 50 by 30 foot building, so we take 50 feet, add 30 feet, add 50 feet, add 30 feet, and we end up with 160 linear feet. Volume. Volume is simply the area of a building times its ceiling height. You have 30 by 50 by 8. 30 feet by 50 feet by 8 feet equals 1,200 cubic feet. Let's use those three formulas on this example. Okay? Now, first thing you noticed about this example is that this building is not a rectangle. What is this building? Isn't it really two rectangles attached to each other? Yeah. Isn't it
or it could be
either a
squares attached? You want it from the 10 up.
Okay? Could be this rectangle and this rectangle, or it could be okay. All right, all you square people, tell me what a square is.
If you had another side over there.
Okay, so this square, and I use that term really loosely, is actually 25 by 20, and a definition of square is 4 equal sides, right? Okay, where I went to school, 25 doesn't equal 20, but hey, that's okay. All right. So, either way, right? We can do it either way. Okay, so 25 times 20 is what? Somebody with a 25. Do we concur? I don't have my calculator. I'm going to have to trust you.
50 is 50, you put the 0, you got 500.
Okay. Okay. So, wait a minute. This is 20, but we don't have this dimension. So how do we do this?
Subtracting 20 from the 50, it'd give you 30.
Okay, so we take the 50, we minus the 20, and we get 30, right? So this side is, oh, wait a minute, we don't have the length of this side. How do we get the length of this side?
25 by 10?
25
Plus 10, I'm sorry.
plus 10.
Okay, 25 plus 10
It's 35.
is 35.
Yeah.
There's another square.
Yeah.
So 35 times 30 is how much?
1050?
Do we concur? Does everybody concur? Okay, so we have 500 square feet and 1,050 square feet. But how do we get the whole thing?
Add those two.
Okay, so we add the two areas together. So we have 500 plus 1050
Times 8 feet high.
Okay, 1,550 what? Square feet, right? Foot squared. That is the area. Our original calculation, okay? Our building 50 by 30. We take 50, multiply it by 30, and you get 1,500, right? Okay? So then you take 50 add it to 30, add 50, add 30, and you get 1,500, right? Now, let's talk about the perimeter, right? The perimeter is 25, so we're going to walk 25 feet, starting at this corner. We walk 25 feet. So we walk 25 feet, right? Then we walk 50 feet. Then we walk 35 feet. Then we walk 30 feet. Then we walk, and then we walk 20, right? 25 plus 50 plus 35 plus 30 plus 10 plus 20. Everybody with me? Okay. Who wants to do that math for me? 170
170.
linear feet.
Yeah, that, I got it right.
We all okay? Are we okay with that? Perimeter, 170 linear feet. Linear feet, yeah. Now, volume. Volume is length times width times height, or area times the height of the building. Okay? So we can do this problem two different ways. We can do it with our red squares, right? And so we can take, let's see, we're doing red squares, right? So we can say 25 times 20 times 8. That gives us the volume of this square. And then we are going to add it to 30 times 35 times 8. Okay, that's one way to do it, right? If we did it that way, would that be correct? Yeah. Okay, so let's do it that way. Now, I also said that it was the square footage times the height. So let's try that. Let's take 1,550 and multiply it by 8, and what do we get? 1,550 times 8, 12,400, right? If our calculations are within plus or minus 10%, then we're okay. So if you're dealing with a 1,000 square foot house, and one ceiling is at 8 feet and the other ceiling is at 8'6", okay, you're not going to spend any time trying to figure that out.
No.
Okay. Now, if you are in the building that I was in, it was 12,000 square foot, and one room has a 25-foot ceiling, and the other rooms have 9-foot ceilings, okay? Understand something. You're trying to figure out the interior volume of the building. So the building looks like this, right? Okay? And this distance is 30 feet. Right? And let's say you got a room over here or something like that. You got all kinds of funky dimensions and stuff, right? What are the dimensions we care about? We care about this dimension, right? We care about this dimension, right? And we care about this dimension, okay? Because we're going to calculate this area all by itself, and then we're going to calculate this area. We don't care if it's all chopped up and that it's got 6-foot ceilings and 2-foot ceilings and 40-foot ceilings, right? And then, of course, we care about this dimension, right? Right? And depending on how big this area is, we might do a little bit of estimation up in here even. It depends on the building that you're in, how much mathematical gymnastics you will go through to calculate the volume accurately. Always remembering, as long as you're within 10%, you're close. You're close enough.